So a birthday party is generally thought of as a celebration of life. Um, but we usually reserve that term for a person's funeral or their memorial. We call that their celebration of life. So for my birthday party, I asked my spiritual director, who's been seeing me and I've been seeing her for 20 years, to do my memorial service, but I was there for the service. And so we did all the things that people do at memorial services. And one thing that really impacted me was this reading that Marcia, my spiritual director, also posted in a blog that she did this week. And this is a reading from Brother David Steindl-Rast, and it's on death. He said, "It isn't primarily a practice of thinking of one's last hour or of death as a physical phenomenon. It is a seeing of every moment of life against the horizon of death. It's a challenge to incorporate that awareness of dying into every moment so as to become more fully alive." So incorporate that awareness of dying into every moment so as to become more fully alive. And so it makes perfect sense in the moment. And I probably am not the only one who hears that and resonates and thinks, yes, that's what I want. I want to live more fully alive in every moment that I have in this life. But what does it actually mean to live fully alive? And how do we know that we're living in a manner that is fully alive? And I am pretty sure we can't come up with that answer intellectually. We can't think about how to become fully alive. So what I wonder is, what does it feel like? What is the experience of being fully alive? And I'm looking around the room. I know everyone in this room. I have some guesses about what makes you feel fully alive. The places in your life that kind of pop everything into focus. So I invite you to feel that for a moment. And there are several things that come to mind in words to describe fully alive. One of them is an openness to what is. Oftentimes when we feel fully alive, it is something really positive, beauty, nature, relationship, love. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes we can feel that fully aliveness in the midst of pain or grief. But there is still that openness, and there's some form, there's some sense of flow. And the word I use overall for it is freedom. So I want you to think a moment, and I'm going to ask you all to help me. If you would pop in with some words, some images, phrases of the opposite of freedom, the opposite of flow and openness.
Constriction. Just
shut down.
Stuck.
judgmental.
Bound.
I have constrained, controlled, blocked, held back, hopelessness, helplessness, fear, enslaved, imprisoned. So feel the difference. Very obvious when people started naming it. Now I'm naming all these words in a row. The big 180 from this open space of freedom down to this narrow constriction of unfreedom. So the question was, what does it mean to live life freely, fully? And I am aware of people who lived a part of their life or a very large part of their life imprisoned, who would say that being imprisoned did not equate to not having some sense of inner freedom and choice about how they would be. People like Nelson Mandela, people like Martin Luther King, Elie Wiesel. So we tend to think that we tend to point to our situations and believe that they are the things that limit our abilities to be free. But the reality is that our unfreedom arises mostly from our own thoughts, beliefs, conditioning. Our unfreedom arises from our ego self. So our way out, our way to freedom, flow, openness is surrendered presence, is to be in whatever is, and then to let go. So what is it we let go of in this letting go? Well, the answer to that question is always, well, what are you holding on to? So take a minute for yourself. What is it that you believe you have to have, that you believe is needed in your life in order for you to be happy, fulfilled? If only such and so would happen, if only such and so wouldn't happen, I could. And then ask yourself, can you let it go? And no is a fine answer. No, I can't let it go right now. No, I'm not ready to let it go. Because what we do here is practice letting go. And recognizing the things that hold us back from freedom. So back to the discussion of death, keeping our death in front of us. Each small practice of letting go, of surrender, is in and of itself a small ego death. It chips away at what it is that's holding us back, holding us in bondage. It's like images coming to me of movies in which a mouse comes by and gnaws through a prisoner's, ropes or something. That is exactly what we do in our practice. It's rare for us to sit down and let go of something and say, freedom. I am now free from that. It's a slow unbinding of all that's bound us. So the question again about death, what if as we practice throughout our life, our death comes, we can face it with open hands, with open hearts? What if when our death comes, we can meet it fully alive? So let's practice. I invite you to drop into your own experience. Feeling your body in your chair, in your seat. Feeling your feet on the floor. And then just noticing your physical being. Allowing your attention to be drawn to different parts of your body. Just to spend time noticing them. Can I feel my feet? And what do they feel like? Can I feel my belly? What is that like? I feel the muscles of my back, my chest, my shoulders. What is it like there? This is a practice of noticing and listening. It's not a practice of fixing or changing. It's so that you can be in communion with your physical being. So that you know your physical self. And while in staying with the experience of the body, begin to include the experience of your inner being. Your heart, your spirit, your intuitions, the inner and subtle sensations. What do you notice? What wants to be noticed? And then becoming aware of yourself in your space. So again, including the physical being, the inner being, now including yourself where you are in your seat within your four walls, and sensing what it's like in your space. The sights, the sounds, and then let your imagination extend you beyond your four walls. So that you experience yourself in your neighborhood, in your city, on this continent, on this planet. Feeling yourself as a being here and now. Noticing how you're coming more into the moment, beginning to feel grounded and present. And then deepening that presence, that groundedness by bringing your attention to your feet on the floor and just letting your awareness rest in that space between your foot and the floor. So you're just holding your awareness there gently, but giving it your full attention. And beginning to sense the way your foot is being drawn into the earth. The way gravity is acting upon you to hold you in place. Deepening the sense of here. Deepening the sense of you in this place. And simply noticing what it's like to be held. And when you fully know and believe that you are held, what is the response of your being? So we all believe that gravity is holding us in place. We learn it, we believe it. Here in the transformational listening community, we also believe that love is holding everyone and everything in all moments, in all places. And that love is completely holding us now. And when we know we are held, we can relax. And relaxing is the beginning of surrender, of letting go. It's the beginning of freedom, of flow, of opening. Taking our next step into deepening our surrender and our letting go, we bring our awareness to our breath. And we imagine that the breath is arising from a point in the low belly. And it rises through the belly and up through the chest. And then it releases and drops back down into the low belly in a continual cycle. Just taking a moment to observe yourself breathing in its cycle. And then really attending to that sensation of the release of the breath. What it feels like when the body lets go. And just see as you observe, just riding that out breath deeper and deeper into surrender, into letting go. And when you feel ready, letting that breath carry you into complete surrender. Letting go completely into love. No need to hold your focus anywhere. No need to follow any instructions. Complete letting go into being. If your mind wanders, returning to the breath or to the sensation of being held. And then just allowing the breath to carry you back in to full surrender. Invite you to stay in this practice as long as you would like. I'll sign off now, and I thank you for practicing with me. I'll see you next time. Love to you all.